of applause. Let's welcome Suvir Saran on stage. And Suvir wants to talk. I introduced a little bit about you to the audience, but I'm going to hand you the mic. We've had women speak in their own words. Today, Suvir is going to spend 10 minutes telling his story about how women, all kinds of women, saved his.
Thank you, Barkha. Thank you, everyone. You know, I never speak with notes, Barkha, but I pulled out a little bit of paperwork to make this a more powerful conversation. I came into this world because of a woman, my mother, but my grandmother, my dadi, taught me to feed parindas, birds. And in doing that, she told me that there's this puppeteer, a creator, the one, the only, that we all look up to when we need hope, when we need something to believe in. So she taught me when I was a kid to look up into the sky, think of the food I gave the birds as being that little gift I was sending that creator, man, woman, whoever, to have them in my life to look up to when I was failing. And so I grew up like that, in a home which was inclusive, where women were treated with respect, with dignity, with agency. My mother could do things. She wasn't just a puppet. She wasn't just a woman birthing children. So that was my childhood. My teachers in modern school, Vasant Vihar in New Delhi, was a wonderful place where men and women, female teachers, male teachers, kids, women and men, girls and boys, together made up for an incredible experience where I learned firsthand the bullying that can tear us apart. But I had teachers, a lot of them were women, who taught us to still keep believing that if we learned from that bullying to be better individuals tomorrow, we would affect change. So I arrived in America at the age of 20 in a country where I was the other. I was somebody that was brown, I spoke with an accent, I had a lisp, I was coming out as a gay man. Who supported me? Women. My classmates who were women, my girlfriends who wanted to perhaps date me and realized I was gay, they became my friends, my allies. So when I had my ups and downs, my heartbreaks, when I was being torn apart, these women friends saved me. And then I came of age. I became India's first Michelin star chef in North America, the first who was a Northern European, who helped me then with the competition between chefs, the backbiting, the posturing. My women friends rescued me from the madness that we human beings inflict on each other. I was in a nasha, riding high at age 46, and I had what doctors then thought was a mini stroke. I lost sight for 18 months, memory for almost 21 months, and who nurtured me then was a woman at 75, my mother. At 75, when I should have been nurturing her, she became my pillar of strength. Doctors had given me weeks to live. She knew her son needed a sabbatical from life and living. So that woman at 75 became a buland tiger, a brave tigress who brought me back to life, and I'm living to tell the tale. I wasn't meant to be. I got a second lease on life. I was born again. And what I learned with that act of kindness, that, we can't exist in this world. All of you, young boys and girls, we are all here because of a woman who brought us into this world. So that's something we need to learn. And once we do that, we'll never be rapists, we'll never be misogynists, we won't be people who divide the world. So my mom brought me back. Then the pandemic happened. And what did I see on television? A crazy kook of an Indian woman, Barkha, that's sitting here on my right, riding across India despite all odds, without any support. During that horrible pandemic worldwide, she gave voice to the people, the men and women of India, the migrating laborers who were going back to villages with nothing because they'd been forgotten in the cities where they were giving everybody everything. She shared the power of women. Post-pandemic, I'm cooking, I'm teaching, I'm writing. Where do I get my inspiration? Women. The women who've cooked and the men who've supported those women by cooking for them. In homes where there's a balance, where there's equity, where there's empathy, where there's care and sympathy for one another, that's the home where magical food, magical experiences, and beauty comes forth. So across the arc of my 50 years of life and living, women have supported me, been my champions, and they've stood by me and they've given me love and hope and care. So Barkha, I knew this was quick. So I've shared with you 50 years of a journey where women have always been there for me.
So let me ask you a couple of questions, and I'm sure the audience would. We've had a